Welcome to Microdose Psychedelic Insights, powered by the Conscious Fund. This is the Psychedelic Insider Series, fireside chats with industry leaders in the psychedelic space.
Natasha, so thank you very, very much for joining me today.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm very excited for today.
I know we're just about a minute off from really starting, but
all right, yeah, just let me know when you hit the bottom, when you hit the record.
I think we're pretty much going, and I think people are already attending. So
oh, great! Well,
we can just slide right into it.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are already joining us earlier, you just saw Andrew Nunez Alvarez, one of the wonderful people working at Microdose HQ. So thank you, Andrew. He's always one of my favorite people to see in person, though we haven't been able to see each other in person in a long, long time. And maybe that's one of the questions I'll ask you, Natasha, a little bit later on, like how your company is coping with, having to distance. But now we're at the minute marker. We have Natasha here from Earth Resonance, and thank you very much for joining us.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
What time is it where you are? You're in the Netherlands, correct?
Yes, exactly. I'm in Amsterdam currently, and it's 11 o'clock at night. So yeah, but no worries.
Thank you so much for staying up for us. We talked a little bit earlier today, and some of the things that we touched on, I'm really sure that people are going to be excited to learn about today. So you come to us from Earth Resonance, but that's just one thing that you're involved with right now. So you actually come from the sort of a natural health background. Can you tell us a little bit about where the projects that you were working on before?
Yeah, led me to psychedelics. Yeah, I think it's been quite a ride. And actually, well, when I was younger, I think everything started. I always had this feeling, this inner fire of having this purpose to make a positive difference in the world. So I thought, well, what industry is the best industry to make a change? So, well, I studied political science. But after my graduation and after some work experience, I saw, well, if you really want to make a positive impact, then this is not the way. And through entrepreneurship, there's so much more that you can do, and so much more positive impact you can make. Because politics, in the end, it's all a game. So I traveled a lot, and I lived in Africa, for example, and I experienced it, well, of course, the poverty, which is horrible to see, but also the fact that children are, for example, addicted to caffeine drinks and for example, sugar drinks, and diabetic rates are on the rise there as well. So that was, I couldn't understand how that was possible in a country like the Congo, for example, and that really inspired me to see how we could, because I thought, the West is we know this problem in Europe and in the West, but not in other countries like Africa. So I started working for a company and started to develop health products, to make sure that people become more aware of what they consume. And eventually I created my own drink, to make sure that people are able to drink healthier. And what we saw is we did a lot of research into how we're able to to make sure that people can drink healthier, because it's primal instinct, right? Drinking is a habit that you're doing every day, multiple times a day, like 8 or 10 times exactly. And if you want to drink healthy, you start to limit yourself and you start to only drink water, or for example, lemon ginger tea. But how are we able to, improve our performance and enhance our performance without all the unhealthy crashing drinks, all the caffeine drinks? So we did lots of research also into, well, what happens actually when you consume caffeine, and what does it do to your body? So we ended up finding a specific botanical category called adaptogens. Maybe you've heard of them. And they are a great replacement for caffeine. So instead of what caffeine is doing, it's increasing stress hormones in your body, and you get this boost, and then you also after an hour get a crash again. So the adaptogens have this ability to reduce your stress levels and to increase your focus. So, and that's actually how I ended up working with botanicals and herbs and roots, and developing as well other products for other companies. For example, CBD drink, and also, implementing botanicals and roots in our daily diet. So all this ancient wisdom and indigenous traditions of different tribes, for example, in the rainforest, but also Siberian shamans. There's so much wisdom out there that we can learn from. So instead of all the synthetical chemicals that we consume in our Western society. So that brought me on this path of making people more conscious of what they consume, and ultimately that's our goal, to expand your consciousness and to raise your vibration naturally through plant medicine.
So okay, we'll actually give a really good introduction to the company that you're with now. We can definitely backtrack to the 7 years that you spent in the Congo, sort of developing some of the things that you now know today. But you come to us today from Earth Resonance,
right?
And this is a fairly new company.
Mm-hmm.
When did it launch officially?
Actually, we obviously did a lot of research. Worked together first with specific neuroscientists as well to see how you can rewire your brain naturally, which I think is one of the most important things for people to understand, is that the best technology we already have inside, and it's not just only our brain, but it's the connection we have with our heart and with our brain, and the coherency between those two, which is essential into in how we react and respond and live our lives. And through meditation, I have learned myself to really to rewire specific thinking thought patterns, and that really inspired me also to learn more about the brain and brain plasticity, and ultimately also how botanicals and psychedelics can help in a positive way. So that's actually how we first started. And one of my great friends, he's working in the financial industry, and he is very specialized in seeing trends in the market. And I always asked him, well, what's your secret? How can you be so successful with what you're doing, and how can you see all these patterns, and how do you how are you able to read those and forecast those trends? And he came to me and he said, well, Natasha, I have to be honest with you, this is one of the things that I've been doing, and that's microdosing with a specific sclerotia, so psilocybin forming sclerotia. And that's actually how it all started, and seeing how you're able to change your thought patterns, but also even like things you're addicted to, or you crave, for example. So that's how we combine sort of all our talents and knowledge and brought this into this company, Earth Resonance. So what we're ultimately doing is we're helping people to raise their vibration naturally and to transform their lives through microdosing natural psilocybin.
And do you provide the psilocybin? Do you what are the like touch bases of your company to your client?
Yeah, so well, one of the most important things, of course, is that we are also offering the product to our clients. So we work together because we're located here in the Netherlands, and the product that we're selling, so the psilocybin for sclerotia, is legal here. So we have this opportunity to work also in this space and to actually also offer the product to our clients together with our protocol. We work together with one of the leading farmers and cultivators here in the Netherlands who have doing this already for years. So we specifically also look, because there are of course different kinds of specific psilocybin forming sclerotia. One of the most important things which we decided to look for in what we wanted to offer our clients was the fact that it helps you to really go inside and introspect. So you're also able to, instead of always, being the victim of your circumstances, really go inward, and that's what Earth Resonance is doing. So ultimately, it's the product that we're offering, and also the protocol, which is really important also as a guidance for people. Yeah.
And this is something that we talked about a little bit earlier. Okay, so you've mentioned a couple of things: the sclerosia. We've talked about psilocybin. We've talked about the fact that you are in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, and we've also talked about, or you mentioned the fact that what you are doing is legal. So for everyone who's tuning in that doesn't, for all of these pieces don't quite match up, let's join those all together. So in the Netherlands, psilocybin mushrooms are not technically legal, correct?
Well, yeah. So in 2008, actually, the mushroom part of the organism is legal. Is illegal.
Yeah. What do you call it? The flowering body.
Yes, the fruiting body. So
the fruiting body.
What pops up out of the ground. In 2008, that was prohibited and restricted here in the Netherlands. But what's not is so there's a specific phase in when the mushroom grows. It's a specific life stage, sort of to say. So when the circumstances are not very nice for the mushroom to pop up and to grow, it turns inward under the ground, and then it soaks up all the nutrients. And instead of going up, it's just, staying under the ground and trying to survive the extreme circumstances. So, and then when the environment's getting better, or the weather gets warmer and more moisture, then it starts to grow again. So it's a specific life stage of the mushroom. So it's not the fruiting body. It's the in the Netherlands they also call it the truffle.
And this is that's a term that I think in Canada we're becoming more accustomed to, or a lot of people are very green to this concept. Yeah. Because if you say truffles to us, we think chocolates,
like chocolate.
or we think of the very skunky underground truffle, and so this would be underground. It would still be the mushroom before it sprouts. Yes. So it is still underground. Yeah. How do you find those, or how do you produce those?
Yeah, so we decided to not start our own production because we are we're really good at what we're doing in the sense of implementing everything into our business, but we're decided to work together with a partner who is very specialized in this and has years and years of experience, also already before 2008. So it's a specific process, so to say, and to create the right environment and the right setting for the sclerotia to grow. So it's quite a process, and our product also, our sclerotia grows very slowly. So you have specific sorts and some that grow very quickly, but ours is very specialized in that sort of way that it's also very strong. So the bioactive components are there, and so that's probably new for you, but here in the Netherlands it's quite normal for recreational use. So that's also what is our mission with Earth Resonance, is to make sure that people also not just use it as for a trip or just for fun, but also discover the health benefits it can give you, and it can help you kickstart new habits and kickstart your creativity, kickstart a healthier lifestyle, or just help you with new intentions in your life. So that's what our protocol is based on.
Let's talk a little bit. Actually, let's not talk a little bit. Let's talk a lot about it. Let's talk more about the protocol and about the types of clients that you are helping and how you do so. So maybe let's take everybody on a little bit of a journey. So for the total layman, how does one find Earth Resonance? How did they get onboarded? And take us through the process a little bit.
Yeah, all right. So, we have our own website and web shop. It's called earthresonance.bio. Everyone can just go online and just Google it, or just type it in, earthresonance.bio. And that's where people find us. We're also very active on social media. So on Facebook, on Instagram. Also, please go to earthresonance.bio, and this is where you can follow us, and it's our mission to really educate and inspire our followers for specific resonance hacks and tips and tricks during their dosing cycle. So we would love to connect with you all. Please come and follow us. So that's where how people find us mainly. And also we noticed that people talk with their colleagues and with their friends about it, and mouth to mouth is a really strong way of selling your product. And actually, when we first started, we really didn't know that we would already kickstart so quickly. So a bit more about our clients. We're mainly focused on 3 different segments. So one type of client is who is really focused on personal development. For example, CEOs of big companies who are looking to enhance their performance and their productivity or their creativity. They can also be, for example, artists or writers or journalists, or everyone who is looking for, to tap into the frequency of creativity. So that's one target group. The other target group is more focused on developing their spiritual abilities, I would say. So they're more focused on enhancing their intuition and to help their body adjust to different types of frequencies, and allow that also to transform really the spiritual transformation. And so our protocol is also based on that, to create this coherent state brain heart coherency through meditation, through yoga practices, but also through gratitude and forgiveness, which is also so important to release specific emotional blockages. And then the third type of client that we help is more focused on mental health, I would say. People who are struggling, for example, with mood swings or depression, and people who are taking, for example, synthetical drugs at the moment, and they are looking for healthier or more natural alternatives. And so they find us, and because obviously the results, the scientific results on psilocybin are so positive. Still, there's a lot of research to be done to in the whole process, of course. But we noticed that so many more people are open to try this type of product instead of their synthetical prescriptive drugs from their doctors. So we also really encourage that. But we do know that this is not just a miracle pill or a quick fix. It's really important for people who are who are looking into this specific type of products and our products as well, is to make sure that they are also committed to the protocol, because before they start, it's also important that they quit drinking caffeine and stop drinking alcohol as well for the 30-day cycle. So it's a 30-day cycle.
Why is that important? But just if I may jump in.
Yes. So that's really important because the psilocybin activates specific synapses and neurochemicals in the brain. And for example, caffeine is doing that as well. So caffeine is also creating stress hormones, and it's just not a good balance. So on the one side, you are activating serotonin, and on the other side, you are activating different stress hormones. So it's just not a good chemistry. So we really want to make sure that people also get the results they're looking for, and as well as that, if caffeine increases stress, for example, in the body, our product can also strengthen that. So we don't want to, we just want to make sure that everyone who starts our protocol starts clean, and also no alcohol, because of course that's a depressant. So it's very important to start this 30-day cycle committed, and just love yourself enough also to do that. So that's also why we really encourage people to already make that decision. And if they're not able to do that, then along the way during their journey, they will notice that their body is not responding well to those chemicals. Mm-hmm. So that's also what we're seeing, is that people are not resonating with that anymore.
Just one question. So you're not dealing with patients who are deep into alcoholism or deep into substance abuse disorders?
No, not yet, because we do have our team of therapists who can support people with specific addiction, but that's more like first, making a diagnosis, and we're not doing that yet. But that's down the line, probably something to look into if we can specialize more in that. But we're not doing that at the moment yet.
It's more about like performance, right?
Yes, exactly. And therapeutical as well, but not in a sense that we offer like everyday. So we do have therapists and our team of coaches who can support you, but it's not that we are a clinic. So we're not specific. We don't have a location where we can monitor our clients. So that's also why, we have our protocol and we help and support our clients during this process, but we're not able to evaluate together with them every day to see how they're doing. So that's not that we're a clinic or have a physical location for that. But we're definitely open for partnerships. And we already have some great contacts here in the Netherlands who are interested in working together with us. So that's definitely the next phase of of the company. So where we're heading to, yes. So.
How far along would you expect, on average, to follow a client along as they go on their Earth Resonance protocol?
Yeah, so it depends a little bit on the intention. So in our protocol, we have a specific exercise where we help our clients setting the right intentions, because that's one of the most important things before they start, to really find out these specific focus areas in your life where you really want to, see changes. So one of the most foundational pillars is, of course, health. But then we also have, for example, finance, if you're struggling financially. For example, we have career. So if you're looking to find more purpose in your life, instead of just going to your work every day and feeling burned out and not excited to, go to your job, to really find your purpose in your work life. Your personal life, your personal care. How am I feeling about myself? Am I, pressuring myself too much? Self-criticizing, and of course your spirituality. So these are the main pillars that we're focusing on together with our clients. And then we have 2 measuring methods, because it's also important because when you set your intention, it's also important to see how can I measure it, and is it measurable. So we have like a specific quantitative measuring part in our protocol, where you can rate every day how you're feeling about the specific subject you're transforming or you're trying to make improvements on. And we have specific reflexive questions as well. So we also encourage our clients to journal and to write down their thoughts, and if specific emotions pop up, write it down. And and definitely the first two weeks can be, so that's what we call the calibration phase. Can be quite intense. People feel sometimes very tired, or even they can feel nauseous, or like some physical things might happen, but that's also a release of specific energy. And it's also finding the right dose, your preferred dose. So it's not it's important that you don't like feel anything physically. It's more the essence to find the specific dose that works best for you, that you can just do everything that you would normally do without being interrupted by the microdose. So that's why we encourage our clients to dose very consciously, and to also start on a relaxing day, and also in a safe environment. So that's the most important thing.
So explain a little bit more about the dosing. Is it a little bit different than a microdose, and what's the difference?
Yeah, so we also offer a scale on our website, and it's very important to measure very precisely. So it's actually practically, you have a small piece, or you break it or you cut it, and then you measure it, and then that's so around 0.3 grams to 0.5 grams, and then every other day you build it up with 0.1 gram to find your perfect dose. And then if you feel that you found your preferred dose, then you can just keep on dosing with that amount.
And this is like a sub-perceptual dose.
So So yeah, so it's the intention to, to not, feel anything specifically, in a sense that that there are like changes in how you see things, or right. So it's more focused on
You don't feel it at the time.
no, and
But
sometimes to say
yeah, but then what does it do as you go along?
yeah, so it's more about becoming very conscious. So that's also why we have specific questions you need to ask yourself every day, and that accelerates your thinking process as well, in how you instead of like what I, for example, always notice is that my thoughts become more clear. It's not that there is a lot of like chattering going on in my brain, so you definitely, it's not that you feel in your body physically, but it's more like a state that you're in, and that's the most important thing to notice. And also, when some people have the feeling that they don't feel anything, we always ask, try to remember your dreams, and then you start to notice that you start to become more aware of your thoughts, and also you can remember things very clearly from your past, or even like like the future.
Why is that? And why is that important? Two questions. Why is that, and why is it important?
Yeah, well, what we notice is it really helps with breaking specific belief systems about yourself. So we are people are, we are wired in a certain way by our environments, by our parents, by our culture, and we have a specific belief system about ourselves. Who are we? And that question really accelerates the next question, which is, what am I doing here? And then you start to, get more deeper into yourself. And that's ultimately how we are raising consciousness, to become more aware of ourselves, what we're doing here in our environment, how we're taking care of ourselves, of our communities, of our family, and ultimately of our planet, of course. That's why it's called Earth Resonance. And we want to make sure that people are able to, resonate with Earth more, connect with Earth more. That's what's our mission.
And okay, I have two questions lined up. Which one should I ask first? Resonating with the earth. What are other ways that people can do this? What are other ways that we can do this in our own lives without psychedelics? And what is that relationship with psychedelics helping us to grasp when we do take them?
Yeah, great question. Because I do believe that we are synced to nature, but it's just that through technology, through our the way we live in, especially in the West, we're living in such a fast-paced world that we start to lose that natural sync with the rhythm of nature. I mean, we have all these blue lights all the time, and we're not synced to when the sun comes up or when the sun goes down we go to sleep. So we're constantly getting impulses. So what I think, and that is also what we write in our protocol, make sure that you also reduce, especially when you're going to sleep, don't sleep with your phone next to your head, next to your bed. Make sure that you sleep without any electronics, and especially your phone, outside your bedroom. And then also in the morning, rise when the sun comes up, because that's our natural state. And that's also how our brain is wired. And then also what we encourage our clients to do is the first thing in the morning, start to meditate, because I have done this for such a long time. When I wake up, I would read my emails, I would read my WhatsApps, and I would be like boom 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 boom, and in the morning it's like, well, you set your day up for stress, and instead of
you give your day over to somebody else or something else.
Exactly, and constantly stressing impulses outside of your control. So you constantly have the feeling that someone else is dictating your life. And instead, just turn it around. And that's why we encourage people to start first with meditation and to calm down your mind and to tap into your heart energy and to your heart center. And that's when we are the most coherent. So if something stressful pops up, we don't react. We're not going to fight and flight, because that's a phase where if we're in high beta brainwaves, we're not able to change anything in our habits or in our lives. So that's how meditation is such a great resonance hack. So that's what we're seeing, is that if people want to make a change, for example, quit smoking or stop an unhealthy addiction or a thought pattern, we're not able to do so if we're constantly stressed. So that's how meditation can help. But also, for example, yoga, stretching. There are plenty of things how we can, even if you go for a run outside, hug a tree, ground, go with your feet on the ground, walk in the grass. There are so many ways that we can ground ourselves with nature in a natural way without psychedelics. But it can definitely help us to become more conscious of our environment and of ourselves and our place in the whole system. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things that psychedelics can give us as humanity, that we're not separated from each other. We are one whole ecosystem. We are united as a species, but also in the universe. And I think that's what psychedelics really can make us aware of.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of the things that you're talking about, really don't rely on the psychedelic experience at all. In fact, it sounds like you're really championing a level of psilocybin, which is the the psychedelic ingredient, at a subperceptual level. And then everything else is really a holistic, just way of being or way of living.
Yes.
And that sort of, that connection with nature is all part of it. Can you explain a little bit further about frequencies and what that means, and what should we understand about that in the whole bigger picture?
Yeah, great question. So we're part of an energetic world based on frequencies and vibrations, and we probably all experienced when you step into a room and you feel like somehow when someone steps in the room, the vibe of the room suddenly started to change, and that's just why we say we all have our energetic fields around us. We're also able to tap in those frequencies with our brains and send out, transmute it also with our hearts. So it's a whole system, and especially the Buddhistic and Hindi culture, the ancient Indian cultures are so super specialized in this with our chakra system, which are Western scientists now also finding out that we have specific energy centers in our body, which are vibrating in a specific way, and we can also measure that, and we can even see that specific colors of our energetic system, and trying to find ways in our modern science to give this a specific place. So, for example, in Buddhistic traditions, there are different meditations to bless your energy centers and to bless your chakras, and to make sure that we become more coherent in our emotional system and more inner harmony with our system. So in the Western world, we're now also seeing that this bridge between spirituality and science, becomes the new normal, and psychedelics can really help us to understand ourselves better. Yeah.
And without even taking, large doses of it necessarily.
Yeah.
It can just be integrated into.
Yeah. So what we do see is that it's really our mission to make sure that we implement more natural substances into our daily lives. So that's why Earth Resonance is such a great Kickstarter for people to because probably people started. How many times a new diet, or how many times did they start to quit smoking, or how many times did they start to become a better person, or just a happier version of yourself, or maybe read so many books about how to transform your life, but maybe didn't really help them. And that's where Earth Resonance really makes this difference, because it integrates all these types of methods, like you said, and what we just discussed, integrating that all in just one protocol. So it's really exciting and amazing to see that people are really transforming their lives in such a fast pace. So you don't have to meditate for 7 or 8 years. You can start and really make progress in a very fast way. But as long as you're committed to making those changes, that's the most important thing.
What it may be a complicated question, I'm not sure, but just like in consideration of Maslow's law and our needs as humans, and how that has in society really been shaped, and how those needs that we pursue, or that to meet them we pursue the means. It really puts a lot of pressure, and it really kind of creates a bit of a tangled knot of pressure and needs and means to get those needs met. How does psychedelics help that? And I know that you developed a slightly different pyramid of
the
protocol. So if you can take us through that, like the detanglement of all of that really intense stuff that we tend to all have built up, and then bring us into the Earth Resonance pyramid.
Yeah, so our Earth Resonance pyramid is developed also based on ancient traditions as well, to balance yourself, really. Instead of all these self-help programs are focusing on achieving your goals, achieving your best new version of you, it's not really necessarily about achieving. It's all about becoming in alignment with who you authentically are, and all the rest of all the other things starting to slowly become non-important anymore. So you sort of detach from all these outer physical pressure, I would say. So in our Earth Resonance pyramid, we have specific phases and steps, and some people are get to find that balance and to find that alignment within yourself. So, which obviously first begins with your health, with how are you feeling inside of your own body, and are you taking care of yourself? Are you because for example, food and drinks is one of the most integrated systems in our brain and in our state, in our lives. So that's where that's where consciousness starts, making conscious decisions of what you're drinking. That's one of the most foundational parts of our lives, where it also gets easier. So when we ask ourselves, what are we drinking? It becomes easier to become aware of also what's next step, which is what are we eating? And then we become aware of, oh, what am I eating? Oh, how am I taking care of myself? So that's the first thing. Then, of course, our financial situation, which is one of the most, important things, because it gives us stability, it gives us safety, it gives us a roof over our head. Taking care of ourselves in a financial way is really fundamental in life, in this life, in society. that we know today. And then the next step is career. A career is one of the things that we're spending maybe 80 hours a week at our job, at our work, and so many people who are suffering from a burnout because they go to their jobs to impress people they don't even like, so it's and that's also why we have our specific therapy coach as well, to help people to find their purpose, is again to go back to when you were younger as a kid. What did you really like? What was your passion? Where were you passionate about to jump out of bed in the morning? And then we help people, with their personal states, their mental health, not being so hard on yourself all the time, because if we want to become the happier version of ourselves, how does it help me to constantly say, oh, you didn't do a good job today, oh, you didn't work enough, oh, you didn't finish this, oh, you didn't finish that, so it's really inhabited in ourselves to self-criticize yourself all the time. And especially when I first started as an entrepreneur, I was I was my own worst boss, nothing was good enough. And I see that also with a lot of other women around me who are so, can be so hard on and not just women, but, other people in general can be so hard on ourselves instead of just, love yourself a bit more. So that's in our protocol. And then the spirituality is how am I, what am I doing here in the sense of like the bigger picture, the bigger whole in our universe? What am I giving back to life? So that's where our protocol is based on. So it's it has different aspects, and then we also have different resonance hacks where we help our clients with, for example, to write down every day at the end of the day what you're grateful for, which also helps you to rewire your brain into a state of gratitude, because gratitude makes us more open to receive. And also, our brain is like the perfect search engine, right? So if we put something like where we put our focus on, that's also what we see in our reality. So if we are able to set our intention on being grateful, then also more things of gratitude will come to us because we're more open and receiving. So that's also one resonance hack we have in our protocol. So it's really about helping our clients to actually practically give the right tools to make that. And the psilocybin, of course, really helps to make your subconscious also conscious, and to open the gateway to help you to make this transformation in a much quicker way.
And given that it's such a beautiful holistic model, how do you make money off of it?
Yes, that's a very good question. So we obviously have our own web shop. We sell online, and it's incredible how fast we're growing. So at first we thought, well, maybe we have to find an investor. Maybe we have to find ways for funding ourselves, maybe. But we're completely self-sufficient at the moment, which is incredible for a startup which started in the Corona crisis. So we're very grateful for all our clients who gave us also the trust to start with us and with our protocol, and supporting Earth Resonance and our mission. We're very grateful that we're in this position, and to also build from here to the next phase, and to work also with institutions together to see how we can implement our protocol also, for example, for institutions for people who are really struggling with alcoholism or drugs or other types of health problems. Mental problems. Yes, and it's going really well. So sorry.
How do you choose? I know you have a few partners. How have you been choosing the right partners that are ideal for this particular business model?
So you mean our suppliers or our therapist or?
Um, uh, Probably those who have been those who have provided funding, if you will.
Yeah, so actually we did not start. We're 100% owned. So me and the co-founder, we funded ourselves. So for now we are yeah, we're completely self-sufficient. But yeah, probably in the next phase, because we're growing so quickly, and if we want to grow to the next stage, is also important to to attract investors. So that's definitely, we're open for discussions. Absolutely.
Mm. Okay, so in terms of suppliers, then how do you choose the right ones to partner with?
Yeah. So for us, it was one of the most important things was knowledge, experience, and also food safety. Since we're working with a natural substance, we have to comply with law. So it's also my background, because I've been in the business of the food industry for a long time, and also working with herbs and also roots and botanicals. So I have seen also the what the pitfalls and the risks are dealing with a product like this. How is your recall system working, for example? What if something happens with one of our clients, if someone gets ill because of our product, things like this. So this process, our food safety process, is really important for us. So that's why we decided to also work with the best in the industry.
And so there is actually a food safety protocol around the substance that you're using, which is from the truffle.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. We have to, because that's we're restricted by law, of course, and also for the safety of our clients. So every step of the production process is monitored, is registered, is written down specifically. Who is doing what and what exactly. So in a process flow, we have everything clear. So that's really important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's really important and probably unique to a lot of those who will be listening to this, because it's pretty unique to the Netherlands to have that regulation for the truffles. Yeah. And then to actually, have compliance or built around it, right?
Yes. So we did. So one of the most important things that we decided to do differently than other suppliers or other brands in the market is we changed the packaging. So what we see here in the Netherlands is that it's been sold in plastic. Plastic small boxes, and what our experience is working with botanicals and roots and herbs, protecting it from a UV light is really important to also keep the quality and the bioavailability and the highest quality available in the truffle, in the sclerotia. So we're protecting it in first it's being vacuumly sealed, and then we use a metallic aluminum protecting sleeve, like pouch, and to make sure that that it's closed, and it also stays. You have to keep it in the refrigerator and without any moist, so it stays in the fridge, and then you can keep it for 1 month if you take care of it. Yeah.
Oh, actually, I don't know if we clarified exactly what sclerotia meant, but we talked about psilocybin mushrooms, and the fruiting bodies are what you see above ground. We talked about the truffles. So what is sclerotia? What does that entail?
Yeah. So actually, when you see, for example, the mushroom, you have the spores, the mycelium, which grows under the ground, and which is so magical because they are able to distribute the nutrients in the woods from one tree to the other tree. They're like the best
to each other.
yes, they talk to each other. They're the best communicators, the best network. They're like sort of the electricity system, so that the energy is flowing through and the nutrients go to the roots. And it's wonderful how the wood wide web works, because, for example, if one tree dies, it makes sure that all the nutrients being absorbed by the mycelium and been distributed to the smaller trees. So they really work together in the forest, and that's something that we don't see, because we only see what's above the ground, but there's so much going on underground. So what happens
I'm just going to repeat one thing you said. She said the wood wide web.
The wood wide web, yes.
I love it. That's so sweet.
Yeah, so and yeah, you can even Google that if you want. It's been researched recently to give us a better insight of what's happening. So these roots and these mycelium, these spores, they all communicate together. But for example, if the weather starts to become very cold, the mushrooms respond also to that. So they start to contract and they start to grow under the ground and they start to clump together and to survive, really. So they suck up all the nutrients, and then they just sit there, and then they wait till weather gets better, the circumstances get better, to grow again. So that's what I really love about our product, is that it grows in extreme circumstances and extreme stressful situations. So that's also how it can help us in a way. Yeah.
It survives when in the face of what might put us into fight or flight. It sits there with intention and with patience, and weathers the storm. And that's kind of what it does to us, right, when ingested.
Yes. So researchers and scientists do not, they're still not sure how it's possible, why they form psilocybin, but they have some ideas on why it's been formed. For example, also to protect against insects, to protect themselves against other factors like stress, or so yeah, they're still not sure why exactly, but there's been way more attention on it. So it's very interesting. Yes. Yeah. And I love the fact that it's a natural product, so we're not synthetically extracting it, and that's also not allowed in the Netherlands. So it's a natural product. And also we believe in energy and the spirit of the plant, which gives us so much more than just only the psilocybin. It's really the whole package which gives the benefits that you experience. Yeah.
I'm just gonna let everyone know that we're about 4 minutes away from ending. I keep hearing little dings. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if that's someone asking questions.
I don't know. Well, if people have questions, I would love to hear them.
But definitely get your questions in now. We won't be in like a desperate hurry to wrap up, but definitely get any questions in now that are outstanding. So I wanted to ask a little bit about like how common are these truffles? How difficult is it to find them? And does that then make it a little bit more difficult, to operate if you're just relying on the truffle mode of psilocybin?
Sorry, can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just asking, how common are the truffles? How easy is it to source them? And does that then change how easy it is to carry out the work that you're doing?
Yeah. So here in the Netherlands, we have specific. We're very unique in the way that we have our drug system here. So we have smart shops where you're allowed to buy truffles. And like I said, they sell them in like plastic boxes. You can buy them 15 grams, and you can then ingest it. And yeah, you can go for a trip really and that's focused on recreational use. So and that's common here in the Netherlands, really, especially the tourists or people from outside of the Netherlands are using them a lot. And what we're seeing now is that people start to become more aware of also the other benefits instead of just only for used for recreational use. So we really want to break free from that stigma of going to the smart shop. So also our clientele would not go to a smart shop that quickly, because that's a bit like, no, I'm not gonna take drugs, right? I'm not gonna, that was also my response. I would never really go that to a smart shop or a coffee shop that quickly to get something to enhance my creativity or to get better performance or more productivity. So in that sense, that our clientele is really not focused on going there, really. So that's why we really want to make it more available for those people to offer that. So we're I think one of the first companies who are focused on, like what you said, on the whole holistic system of well-being, intention setting, and also implementing all these resonance hacks and the breath work, meditation, therapy as well. So it's and there are also other companies who are doing it here in the Netherlands, and we're doing it this way. So
you're not you don't have to worry about supply. You have a supplier. Do they grow it on their own, or do they go out and find the truffles?
No, so it's not wild harvest.
Okay.
It's a specific production facility with all the right standardized parameters to make sure that the truffles grow in the right way. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Again, this is interesting for the Canadians. There are companies coming online that are, Canadian based, but they're working with psilocybin truffles, and it's kind of a new concept. Is there anything that before we go, you want everyone to know? Or do you want them to check out before we go?
Well, we love to hear your feedback and to connect with everyone who is working in the industry, because I think it's very important to also work collectively. So we're here in the Netherlands. We have already we're a bit more liberal here in the ways of how we can operate our business, but I have so much respect for everyone who's working in other countries like the UK, the USA, Canada, and to really break through this stigma of psychedelics, and to make sure that everyone is able to at least know the benefits, or even ways it can help you or enhance your life. So deep respect for everyone in this industry who is trying to create this new wave. And I think it's also very important to make sure that, because there are also a lot of cowboys in the industry, that's what we're seeing, that a lot of capture evangelists are jumping in this market. And I think it's very important to make sure that we are guiding this to in the right pace as well. And growing in the right way. So building a foundation.
I'm sure you probably get this question from your friends and family and peers about, what sorts of companies to trust, what sorts of companies to invest in the space. Any final words for those who are looking for that sort of guidance?
People who are looking for investors, you mean?
People who are looking for companies to trust or companies to invest in.
Yeah. Well, what I've seen in my experience is that One of the most important things especially in a startup business, is working with co-founders who are very passionate about what they're doing and also really believing in their mission, because purpose-driven motivation is long-lasting instead of money-driven motivation. So that's always only going for the short run. And then you're also burned out very quickly. So I would say make sure that you invest in a great team, a great chemistry, who truly believe in the purpose of what they're doing, and which is for us in this case helping people transform their lives through microdosing and through psychedelics. Yeah.
If it's not too late, someone does have a question.
Oh, yes.
Yes, go ahead and ask your question.
I'm excited to get your questions.
There's a little Q&A thing at the bottom.
Yeah. Please keep them going. Thank you so much, everyone who's joining and everyone who's tuning in. I'm very excited.
I was neglecting the chat earlier.
Hi from Israel. Hello from Israel. Wow, all the way from Israel. Nice.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. From Germany. Hello. Hi from Germany.
Oh, here we go. What will Earth resonance look like in the next 3 years? And is there a specific goal that Earth resonance hopes to complete in the coming years? That's a great question. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a great question. So we're definitely are going to focus on building our platform with more focused on mental health, well-being, and also launching new products. Obviously, we're already working on a new mushroom-based product that we're launching very soon, also together with our protocol. And also, we get a lot of questions from our customers, from clients who have specific health issues, for example, sleeping issues. So we are really growing our company also together with our clients in ways how we can enhance their lives. But also definitely we're looking into ways how we can make sure that we can go public as well, because we ultimately, plant medicine is from the people, and everyone should be able to take part in this. So that's definitely one of the goals that we have.
Amazing. I hope that answered your question, Andrew. Looks like it did.
And of course, invest in research. So because that's also one of the most foundational things for everyone in this industry. Making sure that we have the right scientific backup to also make sure that the whole political system becomes more informed on psilocybin, on the benefits of how it can really help people with depression, and work together with them. So that's definitely also one of the goals we have in the upcoming 3 years. But that's probably going to be shorter goal in 3 years. It's one already we're working on. So.
Such a pertinent topic, though, as we're emerging from isolation, COVID-19. One of the questions I didn't get around to was how your team has been coping with this. Being isolated, not being able to work together.
Yeah, so we're working from home, and our production facility, everyone is taking distance. And it's really incredible how we have been able to pull it off, because we launched 3 months ago, which was the midst of the COVID-19. So yeah, it's incredible how we have been able to do this, but also we saw the need, because people are especially more fragile in this time, also with isolation. Yeah, we love to touch each other and be physically connected with each other, right? So I think it's for everyone, like the last 4 months, very difficult. And also the energy now has been lifted, it's changing. At least here in the Netherlands, people are starting to go outside again and eat outside and connect again. So we're happy that everything is getting better. So hopefully it stays this way. Yeah. And how is that in Canada?
I think we're getting to that place. Now it's a little bit funny because, in Canada it's one story, but we share a very long border with another country that's having a little bit of difficulty right now. And, the states are very fractured in how they dealt with it from the onset and how they were dealing with it now. And there's some flare-ups, but overall in Canada, things are definitely opening up, returning to some normal, definitely. And but it definitely has people rethinking how we were doing things before.
Yeah.
And of course, that's not to paint over those who have been, displaced or, left without a job or, really kind of possibly even left without a partner if they lost that partner to COVID. So it's definitely going to be a recovery period, and it's really interesting for me, for sure, and for a lot of people that we've talked to, through Alan Aldous or through Microdose, how many people really think that the renewed interest has really ramped up during this last 6 months. So, really focusing on mental health and what this isolation has brought up in us, and how psychedelics may possibly, maybe be something that we're interested in.
Absolutely. Yes. We see the same here as well. Yeah, it's not going to go back to normal, but I definitely see that, people also have this time to, connect with their kids, and instead of going to the office at 7:00 in the morning till 9:00 in the evening, taking that pressure a bit off, which is also good, I think. And it becomes the new normal to work at home, which is, also okay. In a way, it's also nice to be with your colleagues, of course. But it's a new phase. It's a new world.
Well, it's so very, very nice to meet you and to have hosted this with you, as the as we go into the precipice of this new normal, of this new age. I really hope that all that you're working on and all that you're standing for, which really is, it's not focused on psychedelics. It's really focused on a holistic way of being, really takes hold. And so for anyone that wants to learn more about Earth Resonance, where shall I go?
Yes, please go to earthresonance.bio. And we're more than welcome to connect with you also on social media. Please follow us at earthresonance.bio on Instagram. On LinkedIn, you connect also with us, or even Facebook. And if you have questions about anything about our protocol or about our natural psilocybin, please let us know. We're more than happy to share with you our experience. If you have some personal questions for me, you're also more than welcome to ask them, of course.
Thank you so much, Natasha de Jong. You are an absolute pleasure, an angel, and I really hope that you join us again sometime soon.
Thank you so much for having me, and I really appreciate the opportunity to share our mission with Earth Resonance here, and to inspire people that psychedelics aren't scary and it's not something weird, or you can just start small with small doses and dose consciously, and that's really what we're doing with Earth Resonance. So thank you so much.
Psychedelics aren't weird, just the people that take them are.
A little bit, a little bit weird, but that's okay. That makes life fun. Thank you so much, Beta.
Thank you so much again, Natasha. You're
Thank you.
wonderful. And thank you all for joining us tonight for yet another Microdose Psychedelic Insiders. We'll talk again next week, I believe. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching.
Thanks for joining the Psychedelic Insider series, brought to you by Microdose and the Conscious Fund. Visit our website at www.microdose.buzz.